Yo, 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 yo. What is going on? RoK Familia slash COD slash Kingdom Builder. Familia, really, it is your boy BN, aka Mr. Kingdom Builder. And today, we are going to be reacting. Someone had sent me this video to watch and said, hey, boss, can you give us your thoughts on this? And I said, yeah, sure, why not? I don't know if this is Shinchi officially quitting or not. I know he did a video previously that we reacted to, and so figured we'd go ahead and do this one. This was 3 days ago, 10K views. Here's why I got zeroed in Rise of Kingdoms. Should I quit RoK? This should be fun. Let's give this a listen to, and then your boy's going to give you his thoughtamies.
D has been pillaged and it's been zeroed, so I lost a lot of my resources. The thing is, there's a few factors in here what led into this. I've not really been uploading any more RoK content, so I'm not really interested in with the game as much as I was back then, to which I was really glued into the game. This time, I'm uploading different games like Zombie Waves and Zombie IO, which is Zombie IO I really like, which is we're gonna really continue in that game. I'm really moving towards more of a casual gameplay. As you guys see, I've uploaded a lot of Modern Warfare 3 as well. If you guys are still check out the channel. Rise of Kingdoms is a channel. For 6 years we have been making RoK content, and at the same time we've never been zeroed in 6 years. I always said this before, if I'm ever gonna get zeroed, it's gonna be when I'm online and I'm watching it. This time I will officially tell you guys that they got me, and congratulations, and no hard feelings at the end of the day, because I don't really care much about the
My boy got. No, but seriously, I mean, it can happen to anyone. I mean, people were in my Discord yesterday scouting me in COD, and were like, "Boss, you got a lot of juicy resources there. Can I come hit you?" And I sent like some funny GIF response back. But it's just, hey man, listen, it can happen at the end of the day, right? It doesn't matter if you're a creator. My view is like, hey, there's, no, I mean, again, if people view it as like a respect thing, hey, I'm not going to hit that person, right? They can view how they want it. For me, it's no harm at all, right? It's, your account's out there. And if you're in a situation where you can get hit, you can get hit, right?
the game, because I don't really log in, play as much. I try to log in whenever I try to drop troops within the flag or something that we're on defense. So as you guys can see, this is pretty much the battle reports that they attacked my city. It's a lot. There's a lot of people who swarmed it. I think we're not as interested as it was, as I was back in the time that we were really playing the game, when I was really consistently making the videos and uploading within Rise of Kingdoms. So as you guys can see, I've been joining flags. I've tried to participate as much as I can, and here's a fortress that I joined, but I didn't really get enough I didn't really get enough time to get into a lot of the flags, because I was also busy. Not really just that, even in the last KVK, it's not just me being busy, it's just me being not interested as much. I think the game has really, I've lost a lot of interest within the game, and, we've spent so much into the game, it doesn't matter. Like, hey, even if you spend a lot into the game, there's a point into the game where you can move on. So don't be afraid. Let's say if you spend a lot of thousands of money and you want to move on. Yes, you can move on, and I've done that. I moved on. This one doesn't hurt me because I don't really care as much. If this was happening like 2 to 3 years ago, I would have been a lot more like, oh, wow, this thing really hits. Like, it hurts. But at this stage, when you don't care, it doesn't. Oh, hey, have you guys ever seen a concrete structure of historical figures just like Zhuge Liang? So you see, this is a concrete structure, which is really cool. If you guys want to know more about how this is being made, or see if you guys can order one, you guys can reach out to Crater Sound on Instagram. So this is made by, and unfortunately I couldn't see the report to show you guys. I'll just make this short and sweet as much as I can, but yeah, I didn't really see it, and I got rallied. You guys are probably curious, dude. I'm like level 9 research center in here. I don't even give a fuck. And like
Okay.
here's my development center in here. So I tried to do the 8,000 honor points. Heard that, oh, Shinchi, like, you leech off the gold chest. Honestly, I didn't. You guys are fucking just jealous, and I don't even care. Oh, Shinchi, like, if I ever want to come back, I could come back easily. And I've also always heard that, oh, Shinchi, like, you leech off the gold chest. Honestly, I didn't. You guys are fucking just jealous, and I don't even care. Um, there is no leeching off because I joined and they invited me, and I was there. I left when I wanted. That's all it is. Got so much VIP. I got resources, really.
Yo, my man just firing shots. Just right now, it's funny because again, one of the things he said there was that he was invited, he joined, and most people know. And again, my situation is obviously different than Shinchi's because at least it pertains to COD, and for me, the game that I'm still playing, I still produce content for, I still play and enjoy. But a lot of well, I don't know if I say a lot, but a decent amount of my content is very much research based. So it's like research, data collection, doing comparative data, doing like analysis for wars, doing interviews, etc. And some of those things do not necessarily require for you to show off your account, right? There's always going to be certain pieces of content that do not have a need for you playing your main account in your recording. Outside of if you're battling or if you're doing some kind of guide or if you're showing how to like min-max in a certain area, right? Or maybe buying bundles, etc. Right? Those are ones that are typically going to be a little bit more of your account focus because you obviously want to use an example or an exhibit, right? Outside of using someone else's account. So, for me, I get where he's saying because I'll get invites. People have invited me and said, "Hey, boss, hey, we'll give you some T5 accounts," or "Hey, we'll sell you some T5 accounts for cheap," or it could be, "Hey, boss, you can just come and bring your main in and just hang out and level up, and then we'll just remove you, whenever we need a fighter or if we need to make room or space." And for me, it's always, again, I don't, I have my only one account that I have right now, which is, light spend that I have, even though I haven't spent on it in a while. And, I've always been offered, right, for some alliances. But at the same time, I try to kind of steer, I kind of try and distance a little bit. And it's not because I'm not interested in joining some of these bigger alliances to help my account develop. It's just more of that because of my limited time for everything I have going on in my life outside of the content that I just purely love and enjoy putting out. And because of how research intensive it is for a lot of it, and for those of you that watch my content, there's not a lot of leftover time for me to heavily invest into the development of my account outside of doing dailies and a couple other things here and there. And it's just been that way for a little while. And for me, that's okay. I love COD and the games that I put out content for consistently. And if I didn't, then, I wouldn't do those things.
In here, if I open all these up, but I was not buying resources. People were buying resources in the game to maintain their amount of speed ups that they buy, and they're not getting banned. Speed ups, I have a lot of speed ups. This is about 8 or 9 years work. People have been asking to pilot my account. No, you cannot pilot my account. No, I'll never let my RoK account be piloted or have somebody play and access my RoK account. And I have a lot of resources still. I would say, you can't maintain the game if you do not buy resources. So I'm gonna put it out here. All these big whales, they're buying resources, and that's just how it is. Just as how the game is. So if you're a small fish and you think, how can I not compete? It's because they're buying resources and they're not being caught by the system because the system knows and they just let it go because they're able to profit towards to speed ups bundle. Dude, I'm like so out there.
Yeah, so I want to speak to this effect for what Shinchi's saying. Again, I don't have any relation with RoK, but I'll speak generally to kingdom builders. And I'll give you a couple examples. So I have 2 friends that I've known for a while that play kingdom builders. They don't play RoK and they don't play COD. One of them was playing State of Survival. One of them was playing West Game. And again, I have a number of other stories too as well. But the short version is that these 2 people that I know had told me before that their kingdoms / servers had exclusive RSS sellers that would only sell to them and no one else, where they basically would, I don't know if it was like a contract or they paid a premium for whatever it was, and then they got like discounts in other areas. But it is a very real thing. I get where Shinchi's coming from. It is hard in that sense because of the and bear in mind, this is an easy fix. Like, you want to fix RSS selling? This isn't challenging. Just don't allow for people to trade resources. Problem solved. Or what you could do, and again, that's the extreme version. The other way, and this is something I've recommended before in Call of Dragons, and they have a cap on it, is that, and I think RoK has a cap from my understanding, but I could be wrong there, is one of the ways you can also solve this without eliminating the ability to trade resources between accounts. And bear in mind, if you did that, you would immediately, probably 99% of the time, just stop RSS sellers. Now, there is the other way that you could work around this, where basically you could still RSS sell, but you would basically just give coordinates for the account, and then people would go hit the account to get resources, right? So there is a way around it to a degree, but it's not as efficient as being able to trade the resources directly. And then you have the other way I was going to say is that you could put a City Hall level restriction. So you could say something like you have to be City Hall level 25 in order to transfer resources. That immediately would limit the amount of RSS selling that can happen, because it would require them to grind the account out and play it probably more than I would argue most RSS sellers are doing right now. To my knowledge, you don't have an abundance of RSS sellers that have just a plethora of level 25 accounts. From my understanding, maybe things have changed recently, and now they're all banging out level 25s, through macro scripts, etc., right? Whatever they're doing. Or maybe it's rotational pilots, etc. But those are really two ways that you can limit the amount of RSS sellers in your game. And Shinchi's right, is that when you have, the reason why it's connected is because you have to understand that if you're purchasing resources, that comes together with with the need to then purchase other things that will allow for you to use those resources, which again, as he indicated, speed ups. So because you're buying more RSS, you now need to buy more things that you can use that RSS with, which in this case would be speed up. So you're inherently spending more on the game. And I imagine there's probably other areas as well that have this kind of like yin yang or tethered effect, that because you're buying RSS, you probably lean into buying other bundles as well that you need in order to take advantage of now the RSS that you have. And if you were to say, like, it's shocking that, if Lilith doesn't know about this, or let's just say the game developer in general, right, doesn't know about this, then yeah, you would probably say it's a little bit hard to believe. I watched some videos where people were talking about like gold selling in World of Warcraft, and how, the game developer has to be aware of it, but it's just not something that they're like hard cracking down on, because it still exists and has existed for a pretty long time, from, again, what some people have said. Let's continue.
Dated because I didn't really try to maintain anymore, and there's a lot of heroes in here. They've even I think one of my videos I made fun of Lapu Lapu here, which is they made it really, really fat, and it looked like a Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, which they made an update, which is good, a lot more masculine, and still look like Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson though, but at least it's better. Just wanted to say is that I've been deciding also whether or not I want to delete all my troops after this KVK. So with us getting attacked, I think we've gained about 1 million kills only, not a lot because my tech is so low. Now, I don't know if I mentioned this yet, but the rally happened roughly around 1:30 a.m. And I haven't really been checking the game. I didn't, if I knew things would have been like our flags would have been destroyed, I would have moved my city. Before I was a lot more careful, but since I don't log into game and check it, so that's why I didn't really notice the pattern where it's gonna go. I didn't expect it, so city they rallied it, which is good, and no hard feelings is as it is for me, and at this stage, and I don't care. It doesn't matter. I think also we've made a lot of people smile throughout the years that we've made content, and I think those were some of the good years that we've had, and I hope those people who continues to watch it will remember those fun times that we had in the game. And I think it really was during the first 2 years, because those were the times that we were spending, and we were doing the leads in rallies, and where I was still in leadership. But since we changed the dynamic, we changed the tempo of the gameplay, and everything also shifted to to being different. I think that's happened when we went to 1382, moving to 1412, and so on. And I appreciate all the kingdoms that really took us in, because we had a lot of fun with the players in that kingdoms.
I just want to point out, man, it's like the video is kind of transitioning. Like, even though the video isn't a farewell video, the way that he's speaking, you would be masked, or you'd be shocked if it wasn't a farewell video, because of just how it's transitioning from the beginning to where we are now.
That we've participated in. Yeah, I think I think we've done a lot of great things within the community, and had a lot of fun as well. And so the amount of debts that we got was 1.6 M, and that really bothered me. I just want to make this video just so people who are following still get an update what's happening within the game. And I didn't really know how to address it, honestly. That's why I didn't make a video about it. I don't know what to say. I kind of went turtle mode and kind of went on the shell, and I just start uploading other videos like Modern Warfare 3, in which we really did good on Modern Warfare 3. I was so surprised. And at the same time, we've made other videos like Zombie IO and Zombie Waves, which I'm trying to focus now on Zombie IO. So I'm shifting this channel into a casual channel game. I know we built this on RoK. Many people have followed us through our throughout RoK, but RoK is not forever. RoK, for many people maybe still interested in playing it. Good luck to you guys. I'm glad you guys are happy to play the game. It has given me some of the best years of gaming in RoK. So I did enjoy RoK, but when they
yeah, so it's interesting, right? When we covered the video yesterday, or the video, I'll just say previous to this, right, where Schmuck was talking about the kind of fall of some content creators, and he mentioned Shinchi and Legend Roni. The thing that I mentioned at that time, which I'll say again here, is it's just all about how you transition, right? And going from, and sure, right, even Shinchi references, right, there was a number of videos where he did really good in Modern Warfare 3, but it wasn't obviously happening consistently enough for him to sustain that and sustain putting out content there. Now, that also could have just been that maybe he got bored with it. Maybe he didn't want to put out content anymore, right? Maybe it kind of ran its cycle in his personal enjoyment, and that can very much happen. But usually when you're switching games, when you're putting out consistent content for a game and you have a short stint in it, I don't want to say more often than not, but sometimes it can just be because you're not getting consistent views throughout the content production's life for how long you're playing the game and how long you're putting content out for it. And then you switch to another game, right, which you said like the Mushroom IO. And again, I don't know if that's a kingdom builder, if it's like an AFK farming game, whatever it may be, I'd have to look. But I'll say if it's not a traditional kingdom builder, like Uno, like Modern Warfare 3 were, right, for content that you put out, it can be difficult to have your audience transition to that when, one, you don't give them a heads up, two, you never speak about it or drop any like seeds or plant seeds in the community to kind of start that slow molding. And I'll give an example, like in a number of my videos when I put out content for COD, when I put out content for RoK, Infinity Kingdom, I've always had a number of people that have followed me from one game to another. And part of it is because I planted seeds early. Part of it is because I openly talked about enjoying the genre as a whole, and also talking about what I find enjoyable in kingdom builders, like what features really stand out to me that are ones I am always on the lookout for, especially when it comes to new kingdom builders. Even when we did our Age of Empires first look, I think that video is at like 5K plus views or something like that now. Decent, at least for me and my size, covering something as just kind of a one-off and giving my impressions on it. And there was a number of people that reached out and said, boss, are you going to play this game? We'd love to play it with you. Are you doing a project, etc.? And there's some people that are going to be trying it out too as well. So, I just think that there's a number of factors that go into this if you want to try and kind of have these successful branch outs of what you're currently doing and or transitions. And so I think in Shinchi's case, right, it seems like some of those have worked out and some of those maybe not up to his expectations. But I just wanted to throw that out there just because some of the choices for content that he's done, because it wasn't along the same genre, and or if it wasn't like a booming trend or getting a high number of engagement, high number of impressions, high number of traffic, like if you're looking at Google Trends or using other analytical tools to say like, hey, like for example, Mushroom Kingdom was something that popped up recently and there was ads all over about that. And there were some people I knew that ended up diving into that game and doing content production for it. And then other games too as well. So it's, my whole thing is like, just do your research, right? Educate yourself, kind of do things in a tactical and strategic manner that hopefully will allow for you to have the most amount of carryover, right, from one game to another.
Release the equipment, 2 years after they launched. I will honestly tell you guys, I've always said this, I've lost interest because the paywall, the pay to winness has greatly increased, and I've never ever spent so much money in game in my life besides RoK, and this is probably going to be the most expensive game I've ever going to be able to play because there's no other game that there's no other game that I can compare to the amount of spending that many people have done or I have done in the game, and I've seen other people who've spent way more, 2-3 times more than I have. The amount of grind that you gotta put if you don't spend is insane. You gotta make sure also you have farm accounts, and it's just gonna take your life, and I don't want that. I think when I was 26 years old, that was fine. I didn't have much going on. I think with being in the 30s, there's more responsibilities and more things to focus on. All right. As you get older, there's different things that you want to do in life. You can't just be playing all games all day. What else? I would say thank you guys for supporting throughout the years, whether or not you guys want to support.
So I just wanted to comment on the paywall thing real quick. This is such, and I want to point, and even beyond this, like I think he's absolutely right when you think about the equipment, the crystal tech, other things that have come into RoK over the years. And bear in mind, I'm not privy to every single thing, but from what I've heard, from what I understand, these are to a degree, whether it's full paywall gated or soft paywall gated, it has increased and kind of separated, made that gap even wider between free to play and pay to win, or we'll just say spenders. And then the other aspect you have to think about this, and that can be a turnoff for anyone, right? The fact is, and let's just call it what it is, right? Free to play does not want to spend years to get to max level. This is the thing that a lot of developers haven't understood, at least from what I've seen in a number of kingdom builders that I've played, is that you very much have to look at your model as kind of a World of Warcraft model, which is what's one of the things, and just in this one area, what's one of the things that you often hear from people that play WoW is you need to get your account to max level, whether that's 60, 70, whatever the max level is, and then more things will open up to you. You can kind of start enjoying the game more on other levels outside of the grind as you work your way up. And that is very true in kingdom builders. I mean, it is almost the truth, if you will, to where once you get to T5, once you get max VIP, once you have maxed or awakened heroes, commanders, the game for people becomes more enjoyable. And I can guarantee you that if you went around and you asked all these free-to-play players on, hey, do you think the game is the most enjoyable for you now, or do you think it would be more enjoyable for you if you had T5, max TAC, max VIP, you had heroes that were max starred, awakened, etc., right? You had max equipment. Do you feel like you'd be able to do a lot more, explore a lot more, and enjoy the game in a lot more ways than what is currently available to you at this moment? I have no doubt in my mind this would be an overwhelmingly yes. And so you kind of have to look at it like that, is that you can't have a game that takes too long to reach max level. And that's because you need the game to supplement across all spectrums of player tier or categories. And so, yeah, and again, we see this right now in Call of Dragons where, right, a lot of the fights that last the longest are the ones that typically have the most amount of spenders in those alliances. And yeah, sure, that's great to watch, but it's not something that is ever, in my view, going to be sustainable. Like, you need to have as much activity as possible. You can't just go around having kingdoms with one alliance or two alliances worth of people where it's 200 to 400 in there, right? And expect that your game is going to thrive and survive, because if you're only having that amount of people, you have to understand that player drop off is a constant thing. You're always going to be losing people in kingdoms. And so if you want kingdoms to last as long as possible, you need to have as many active people in those kingdoms as possible to basically stretch or reduce the rate of a drop off or player attrition. And again, it also makes things a lot more enjoyable when you have 500 to 1,000 people in a kingdom versus 200 to 400 people. It's more people to engage, and you have to also understand that not every single person in your kingdom that's active is going to engage. They're not all going to interact with one another. So you have to understand that there's always percentages being played out at all times. If you said that 10% of the people in every kingdom are going to be the ones that engage the most, well, what's 10% out of 400? That's 40 people, right? And I'm sure and I'm just giving an example. I'm sure the percentage number is a little bit higher than that. But the idea being is that that's one of the reasons why you want to have a lot of people, because those people, and I should say engaging beyond just in-game, right? Like where you're getting on Discord, you're hopping in VC, you're chatting on Discord, you are, maybe hanging out and doing video calls with people in your community. Maybe you're showing up to community or kingdom ran events that wants to involve everyone besides like proper official in-game events that the developer or the game itself is putting on. And there's a number of reasons. I don't want to do too much of a deep dive, but this is something that I at least am very much in belief of, and I'm very passionate about when it comes to quality of life and day-to-day enjoyable game experience from everyone.
For that's continuing is really up to you guys, and we're shifting, we're changing audience, we're changing game, we're changing everything within the channel. We're moving on from RoK. So that's all I gotta say to you guys. And we just had a new baby, which is my niece. And let me show you guys a quick picture of it. And it's right here. All right. So which is really cool.
Yo, I just like how he said we had a new baby. I get it. It's like a royal we. We get it. So this is funny, right? It is funny in the sense that it basically is turning into a farewell video when it's like, dude, just make a farewell video, right? Like, this is the thing. If you weren't going to say that you're and so that's why this is, I don't want to say it's a clickbaity title, but I'll just say it's a little bit misleading, because if you're going to basically give a farewell, just do a farewell video. This isn't a difficult thing to do, right? But instead it's, should I quit RoK ? And it's, but in that same video, you're giving your farewell. It's just, does anyone get where I'm coming from there? Is it maybe just me? That's my view.
Cool. And yeah, also Shinchi is in a relationship, and that's why also I don't really care much about RoK. All right, because this thing takes too much time, and if I play this game consistently, this game drains you. This game drains you. If you guys want to see my vlogs, it'll be on Shinchi42 TV. What else? I think that's it, guys. I hope you guys still enjoyed the game. The game definitely gave us some good years, but it's time to move on from the game. As much as I hate to say it, maybe this is one of our last few times that we really make video. Except if somebody sends me a video of me getting rallied, I'll do a reaction of it. And I'm forgetting something. Oh, 75. Thank you. I think you guys are the one who rallied me. I don't even know this KVK. I just show up. Q. And then cool. I don't even know what kingdom this is. That's why they knew me. 1075. I don't remember something. Who are these guys? 75. But because I've already lost interest, that's why I play like this. Oh, huge shout out to this kingdom. 91. They're really good. The leader is amazing. And Bilal, shout out to Bilal. If you guys are looking for services, you go for Bilal. And I don't know where he is right now here. Is a great leader. She is very attentive to people. And one thing that I should say is that she's a teacher, and the way she is so dedicated within the game is absolutely insane. Even though I'm not so active anymore, I see Lily like dropping 2 troops in, which is amazing. And this so I mean, if I'm ever gonna give advice, like, hey, if you're not making a whole lot, don't spend it all in the game. Spend a little bit's fine, but don't put everything into the game, because at the end of the day, it won't matter. Eventually, you are going to quit. You're not going to play the game forever. You are going to quit at some point, and so many people have quit since I played the game. So don't put too much. Don't be too crazy. Just put whatever you feel like you can afford, and don't go crazy. So besides that, I am moving on to new games. Make sure to check them out if you guys want to continue. If not, it's all good. We're bringing in new audiences within the channel. we've made it, and we're gonna keep continuing to do things that I enjoy, and I'm focusing on the things that I really like, to show in this channel. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys again next.
All right, that's it for our boy Shinchi. I mean, like I said, it feels very much like a farewell video. I'm sure he probably could still make an official farewell video, so it's a little bit more clear. But again, if you watch the video, once you kind of get to about third of the way, right, 2/5 of the way in, I think you can kind of start seeing the direction that it's going in. So, yeah, man. I think some good points there, right? Just like anything, right? You're probably not going to be covering particular games for 10, 20 plus years. It's just, it's less common, right? It's a low percentage chance that games will last that long to cover them for, outside of some. And yeah, I think the spending advice is pretty solid, but I think for the most part, right, I don't know anyone that spends an abhorrent amount of money or a large amount of money that does it in a, I don't want to say in a not well way, right? And is the easy way to say that. So, yeah, again, spend what you can budget, spend what you're able to spend, and typically you would budget that out if it's you set aside 10% of what you make, or however you guys go about it, right? Just smart spending, like anything. Okay, that's gonna do it for me on this one. Hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. As always, until next time, I'll catch you later.